Hello all, hope you're all well. In this video we're going to look at how to get the maximum value out of the work we do with Agile. What we have found is that basically 80% of the value normally sits in about 20% of the features. If we think about, for example, Microsoft Word, how many of those buttons in those ribbons across the top do we actually use? If we think about almost anything, if we think about our car or our microwave, there are always very few buttons that we actually end up using out of all that is available to us. What we do with Agile then is try and focus on delivering those features, those buttons first, and see if the other buttons are ever needed. So what we find is that we're trying to deliver as much as possible, as early as possible, but focusing on what has the most value. So what we end up with is by the time we get to this point here, we've delivered 20% of the features, we've got 80% of the value, we can then make a decision. Do we want to carry on delivering at all, or do we actually want to stop the project right there? If this was a waterfall project or a plan-driven project, what would be happening is you never ever see value until the very, very end, because you never see the product until the very, very end. With Agile, of course, we are delivering the product or increments of the product almost every 2 weeks. So what we can do is when we've delivered 80% of the value, we can say, hey, that's enough, we don't want to do any more. Or we can decide, actually, rather than continue to deliver all those features that we thought we wanted to deliver, let's start again and let's see whether actually we wanted to do something completely different and take this product to a whole new level. We can then decide again at that point where we've delivered another 80% of the value in another 20% of the features, whether we want to do that again, or indeed whether we want to at some point just basically say, look, we've delivered everything that we wanted to do, we've had enough, we've got everything that we need. And it's because of this, because of doing things like this, that Jeff Sutherland, one of the founders, the co-founder of Scrum, actually says that with Agile, with Scrum, you're doing twice the work in half the time, because you're actually getting to the point where you can actually deliver 200% of the value, only having delivered 50% of the features. Amazing, isn't it? Hope this makes sense. Agile is very, very nuanced. It's really, really simple, but it's not obvious. So if you'd like to chat more about this, if you'd like to find out more or how it can be specifically applied to you, please do get in touch. Really looking forward to talking to you. Talk to you soon. Bye now.